What if I told you one nation absolutely crushed the competition in the 2026 Commonwealth Games? Imagine this, a country dominating every single relay event, setting records in 6 different races, and sweeping the podium in 5 individual events. Sounds like a dream, right? But this wasn't a fantasy, it was Australia, and they made history in Glasgow. Now, here's what really fascinates me. How did they do it? It's not just about talent, it's about strategy, culture, and maybe even a bit of luck. Let's break this down. Australia's relay dominance wasn't just a fluke. They won all 8 relay events, which is insane. Think about it, 8 gold medals from a single discipline. That's not just about having fast swimmers, it's about cohesion, trust, and years of preparation. And they didn't stop there. They set Commonwealth Games records in 6 of those races. What does that say about their training? It suggests they're not just chasing medals, they're redefining what's possible. Personally, I think this is a masterclass in teamwork. When you have 8 athletes performing in perfect sync, it's like watching a well-rehearsed symphony. But here's the kicker, they didn't just win relays. They swept the top 3 spots in 5 individual events. That's not just depth, it's a full-blown swimming machine. Now, let's talk about the bigger picture. Australia's 37 goals dwarfed the rest of the field. South Africa came in second with 6 goals, but even that feels like a distant second place. What's interesting is how England, despite having the second most total medals, 26, only managed 4 goals. That's a huge gap. Why? Because England's medals were mostly silvers and bronzes. It makes me wonder, is there a shift in focus here? Are countries prioritizing quantity over quality, or is Australia's system just so far ahead? From my perspective, it's a mix of both. Australia's investment in youth programs, their emphasis on relays as a team-building exercise, and their relentless pursuit of excellence in every stroke, it's all part of a blueprint that others are trying to replicate but haven't cracked yet. And then there's the underdog story. Jersey, a tiny island, made history with 2 medals, both from an 18-year-old named Filip Nowacki. That's wild. How does a small nation like Jersey even compete on this stage? Well, Nowacki's victory in the 200 breaststroke wasn't just a personal win, it was a generational moment. It's the kind of story that reminds us why sports matter. It's not always about the big countries, sometimes, it's about the underdogs who prove that size doesn't define potential. What makes this really interesting is how Nowacki's success could inspire other small nations to invest in niche events. Maybe the future of the Commonwealth Games isn't just about the powerhouses, it's about the stories that come from the edges. But here's a thought, what if Australia's dominance is a warning? If they're setting records left and right, what does that mean for the future of the Games? Will other nations have to up their game, or will Australia's lead become unassailable? I'm not sure, but one thing is clear, this wasn't just a win for Australia, it was a statement. A reminder that when a nation commits to excellence, it doesn't just win medals, it rewrites the rules. So, what do you think? Is Australia's success sustainable, or is this just a flash in the pan? Let me know in the comments.